everyone, my name's Alex and I am a physiotherapist from PhysioFunction, and I'm going to be taking this level 1 different strokes exercise class today. So as always, we want you to have a challenging and enjoyable class, but please remember, for your safety it's really important that you exercise to the correct level. So level 1 classes are designed for people who may not have any effective movement in their upper and lower limb on the affected side. It's a seated class, so there's no standing at all in this class. Please note it's a requirement for safety that you have somebody available to assist you with exercises as needed for safety. So this is going to be week 1 of our upper limb series. So we are going to be working through 4 weeks, focusing on exercises to help strengthen, mobilize, and keep moving your affected upper limb. Also working your upper limb on your unaffected side as well. So for today's class, if I could get you to potentially grab a tea towel, okay, or something that you can use to slide your hand on, and if you can be near a table or something that you can sit at for one of the exercises. If this is not possible, so I am not near a table, you could use a tray or something that you can pop on your lap, you can pop it on a pillow, and you can practice the exercises there. So I've just got a placemat. You could have a dinner tray, popping it on a pillow on your lap so that you can use that for one of the exercises. So have that one nearby. So our class today, we're going to start with a general warm-up, and then we're going to be going into some mobilization or like stretching exercises for your affected arm to try and get it ready for the main circuit. We are then going to go into a circuit of 4 exercises. One of them is going to be a general exercise just to try and give your arm a bit of a break until we go back into them again, hopefully, depending on time. So let's get started then. So we're going to start just by marching our legs in the chair, and if you can get your arms involved, then do so. So if you don't have much movement on your affected side, I want you to just move as much as you can or think about moving it and really focus on marching your unaffected leg. So if you've got a bit of movement in both arms, then you can march with both arms. So just generally moving, starting to get our bodies warmed up, moving at your own pace. So a really nice thing that you can do with these classes to monitor your progress is to find a challenge task. So what is a challenge task? A task is something that you find day to day that might be quite challenging. So this could be getting yourself dressed, this could be eating, it could be anything individual to you, which you maybe find a little bit difficult. And what you can do is I want you to see, as you do these classes more regularly, I want you to monitor this one task that's a bit challenging. So if you've picked, for example, if getting dressed or dressing your upper half is a little bit difficult, I want you to monitor it and just see, does it become easier the more regularly that you do these classes? Because that's a really nice way of monitoring your progress. And let's do some heel taps now. You're tapping your heel down on the floor. Again, you can get your arms going. You can hold your arms together. And again, if you can't move much on your affected side with your legs, that's fine. Just doing what you can. Focusing on you could just focus on your unaffected side if you have no movement on that side at all. Lovely. Good. Okay, and now we're just going to be doing some reaching. So I want you to think about reaching over the opposite shoulder, towards the opposite shoulder. So you're just reaching as much as you have, or as far as you have available movement-wise. You can gradually get a little bit bigger if you want to. Now, if you really struggle with your affected arm, you could just do this with your unaffected arm, okay? So pick whichever works for you. Lovely, everybody. And let's see if we can go a bit lower now. So try and reach to the end of each opposite knee, or each knee rather. Good, moving at your own pace. So remember, you don't have to be going as fast as me. Or if this is a bit slow for you, you can move a bit quicker, okay? Picking what works for you. And this time I want you to imagine you're chucking, we'll say chuck the salt over your shoulder. Chucking the salt over your shoulder. So imagine you're holding that salt in your hands, you're chucking it over your shoulder. Or chucking whatever you please to imagine over your shoulder. Good. Let's do one more each way. Lovely. Okay, and let's do some side stepping. Out to the side, back to the middle. Again, oh, move that out of the way. Again, you're just moving as much as you can, what is available to you. If on your affected side, you have a bit of an ability to lift, but you can't step out to the side, I just want you to think about lifting and think about squeezing the muscles on the outside of your hip. Just move it however far you can. Even if it doesn't move that far, trying to make that connection. Imagine the movement. Really picture stepping that leg out to the side. Lovely. A really good way to improve is to just think about the movement. Practice it. Keep practicing. Lovely. Good. And let's relax there. So sit nice and tall in your chair. I want you to think about squeezing your shoulders back together, tucking that chin in, sitting nice and tall. So if you remember, if you did my posture series for the last 4 weeks, we did a lot of work on working on this nice sitting posture. So think about that good posture, and then I want you to relax, reach your arms forward and drop your chin to your chest. And then again, I want you to find that lovely sitting posture, shoulders squeezed back together, chin tucked in. And then I want you to relax, reach your arms forward, drop your head down to your chest for a nice stretch. And squeeze those shoulders back together, tuck in that chin, find that lovely posture. And then relax, reach those arms forward, drop head, chin to chest. And again, shoulders back, nice and long through your spine. And then reach those arms forward, drop your head, chin to chest. Good, let's do one more. Elbows back, shoulders back, nice and tall. And then round those shoulders, drop your head, chin to chest, reaching those arms forward. And then relax. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to come into some exercises to start moving, stretching, warming up your affected arm. So the first one I want you to do is I want you to try and relax your arm down by your side. So if that's a bit difficult, then we can have it in the middle, or we can have it just rested on your lap. Now, depending on how much movement you have in your arm, if you've got some movement and you have the ability to do some of these, I want you to use it as much as you can. So if you can bend and straighten your elbow without helping with the other side, I want you to do that. If you can do a bit of the movement, I want you to do as much as you can and then assist the rest of the movement with your other arm. But try and use whatever you've got, okay? If you have some movement or no movement, but you just can't lift it against gravity, then I want you to help with your unaffected side, but only give as much help as you need, okay? I want you to concentrate on doing as much as you can with your affected arm. Okay, so we're going to think about bending our elbow and shoulder, and then back down. Bending up. Good. And then back down. Remember, doing as much as you can yourself and helping where you need. Good. I'm going to do 10, so that's 3, 4. Lovely. 5. Good. down. 7, and down. 8, down. Good, nice and controlled. 9, and down. Lovely. Last one. 10, and down. Fantastic. The next one we're going to do is a forward reach and then a pull back. So we are going to be reaching your arm forward and then pulling that elbow back. So think about elbow back towards the chair behind you. So again, if you have some movement, I want you, if you can do the movement without assistance on your effective side, I want you to do that. If you can do some of the movement, do as much as you can, and then just help with that last bit, and then bring it back. This is where it can be really helpful, actually, if you've got your assistant there. They could help put a little bit of support underneath your elbow to help guide you forward and then guide the movement back. But remember, you are leading this movement, okay? So your effective side is leading the movement as much as you can. Your unaffected side, your assistant, is just there to give it that little bit of extra help it needs, okay? So we're going to be doing that forward reach and then elbow back. Off we go. We're going to do 10. So we're going to reach forward. Remember, doing as much as you can. Squeeze that elbow straight and back. Lovely. Elbow to chair. Or elbows back behind you if you can. We're going to be reaching forward, straighten, and then I want you to think about pulling back with your elbow. Lovely. And again, reaching forward, pull back with your elbow. I've lost count. I think that was 4, 3. We'll go 3. Reaching forward, pull back with your elbow. We'll do that as 4. And again, reach forward, pull back with your elbow. 5. I'm very bad at counting. I talk and I lose track. Reach forward, straighten that elbow, pull back, that's 6. Reach forward again, straighten that elbow, pull back, that's 7. And again, reach forward, pull back, that's 8. Good, again, 2 more. Reach forward, pull back, that's 9. 1 more, reach forward, pull back, that's 10. Fantastic. Okay, the next one we're going to do is moving our palm over and back. So if you wanted to, if you have a tray there, or if you're sat at a table, or you could just get a pillow, you could rest your arm onto the tray, the pillow, to support your forearm. Again, this time start with your palm down. I want you to think about leading with your thumb, turning your hand over if you can, and then back. So you can, again, we're doing as much as you can with your affected side, and then just providing a little bit of help to the forearm when you need it to, okay? And you can give it a little bit of a stretch over there, because this one tends to get a bit tight. Okay, so palm down, we are turning our hand over, palm up, helping as needed, and then back. Good. Turn palm over, and then back. Lovely. Palm over, and then back. Remember, do as much as you can yourself. Lovely. We're going to do 5 more. Up and over, much as you can yourself, and back. Good. 4 to go. And back. 3 left. Good. And back. 2 to go. And back. 1 more. And back. Lovely. Okay, the last one of our warm-up mobility exercises is we're going to be doing opening and closing of our hands. Now, these exercises on their own could be a really nice way if you get really tight in your arm. or you just have limited movement in your arm, these exercises are wonderful ones that you could do each day to try and make sure you're keeping your arm moving and keeping it nice and mobile. Because what we don't want is we don't want our arms always kept here, because then we get really tight in our chest, we get really tight in our arm and our hand. So it's important when you're sitting, good posture with arms out to the side, especially if you don't have much movement. And then making sure you're doing your exercises, so the ones that you have provided by your physio, or some general exercises such as we're doing today within your pain limits to keep your arm moving. Okay, so with our hand here, what I want you to try and do is we're going to try and open up that palm. So I want you to try and open up your palm. So using your other hand, if you've got the movement, I want you to think about opening that hand as much as you can and then relaxing it closed. Opening it as much as you can and then relaxing it closed. Again, you could help try and open it and then really use your fingers to try and open the rest of your hand and then let it relax. And again, so you could use your hand in your palm, doing a little bit of nice gentle massage to open up those fingers, trying to get them as flat as you can. If you've got some tightness there, it might be that you don't get your fingers all the way out. The most important thing when opening your hand, stretching your fingers, is that you don't pull on the ends of your fingers, because these joints, they're very delicate, and if you pull on them over time, you could risk injuring yourself. So make sure if you are stretching your hand like this, you are supporting from the base of your fingers, okay? And relax. Look, again, lovely. Let's open up. So if your hand's here, we're trying to get into the palm. We're trying to open up those fingers as much as we can. And then we're relaxing. You can help it closed again if you want to. And then I want you to try and open, coming into that palm, opening up those fingers. If your hand's a bit tricky there, then you could be doing it this way. Just trying to give each of those fingers a bit of a move, remembering going from the palm up the fingers. So if you like to do some massage, can sometimes be really nice to your palm, especially if you get a little bit tight. So using your thumb or having your assistant use their thumb to just do some gentle massage across your palm, just to open up in there a little bit and get that. We've got some connective tissue and fascia and lots of tendons and things in there that can get a bit sticky and tight. So it's important that we try and keep them nice and mobile. So some nice massage across the palm, center outwards and center up. And then you could then come into your fingers, the base of your fingers, try and get them nice and open. But remember, no pulling or pulling back on the tips. Okay, we're going to come into our circuit now. So we are going to be doing 3 upper body exercises, okay? And then we're going to be doing a little respite afterwards. Now, we may only have time to do this once today with me, but what you could do is you could rewind the class to the start of the circuit and do it again if you have time. So the first exercise we are going to do is a forward reach. So similar to what we were doing before, you can have your hands together here, okay, and we're coming forward and back. Someone's supporting underneath your elbow if you need to give that little bit of extra support. So we're going to be doing this forward reach here. If you really just want to concentrate on your affected side, you could just be practicing that forward reach, helping as you need. Okay, we're going to be going for 60 seconds. So I'll get my stopwatch ready. Off we go. So remember, where the hands are here together in front, forward and back, or if you're really focusing on that affected side, helping it forwards and back here. Okay? Either one of these options. So whichever one you want to work on. You want to work on both. Let's come here. You could have your assistant support gently underneath your elbow if you're particularly weak in your arm. But nice and controlled. And again, I want you to think about your posture. Lovely. This is really nice. So again, really nice exercise to keep your shoulders moving, your elbows moving, and it can translate into some functional exercises as well. So thinking about reaching to grasp for something. As well, this is useful for when you're getting dressed. So thinking about reaching that arm forward to put on your top sleeve. Lovely. Okay, that's 1 minute down. The next one we're going to do is working on that extension. So we're going to be doing a twist and tap. So we're going to go towards, we're going to change each way we go. So we're going to hold our hands together in front. We're going to think about pulling that elbow back to the chair and tapping. So either on the arm of the chair, if you've got one, or your imaginary arm of the chair if you haven't, like me. So we're thinking about pulling elbow back to the back of the chair, tap and forward, elbow back to the back of the chair, tap on the arm and forward. Okay, off we go. Pull elbow back, tap, forward. Pull elbow back opposite way, tap, forward. Good. Pull elbow back, tap, and forward. 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 Pull elbow back, tap, forward. Pull elbow back, tap, forward. Nice. Pull your elbow back, tap it down, and forward. Nearly there. Pull your elbow back, tap it down, and then forward. Lovely. Okay. We are now going to put that into a more functional task. So we are going to imagine we are polishing the bench. So if you would like to either make your way to your table, or I want you to get your tray on your lap. Now you could raise this up with a pillow. Okay, so pop a pillow underneath and then the tray. Now we're going to be working on your affected side. So I want you to place a tea towel underneath your affected hand. Now if you struggle with tightness, you could be rolling, it could be 2 tea towels. You could have one rolled in your palm and then have another one underneath, okay, if you really can't get your hand flat. So pick the option, so make sure you've got your tea towels. Now if you need, you can pause me, okay, get yourself ready and then set play when you are ready to go. So hand underneath here. I'm going to turn my tray the long ways actually, so I've got a bit more room. So if you do have a tray like me, you could place it the long way. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about pushing forward and back with that affected arm. Okay, so these are the 2 movements we've just been working on, that forward reach and that pull back. So we're just putting them into a functional task now. And again, this is a lovely exercise that you can practice in the day, especially if you have some movement in your arm, or if we're trying to work on getting some movement. So if you've got some, I want you just to do as much as you can with it, okay? Even if you don't get very far, think about straight forward and back. Now, if you've got some movement, but not enough to actually move the tea towel, or you need a bit of help, you could either guide it with your other hand, or your assistant could help you guide it, okay? But again, you're doing as much as you can with your affected side. So we're gonna go for 1 minute. Off we go. We are moving forward and back. Remember, only helping as much as you need with your opposite arm. Or alternatively, you're trying to do as much as you can with your affected arm on its own. Fantastic. So keep it going. Sliding it forward. Now, when you're doing this, I really want you to think about as well, trying not to do the whole movement with your body. So think about keeping your chest where it is and just lengthening that arm away from you. We're lengthening away and we're pushing back. It can help if you've got your assistant. They could always put their hand on your chest or gently on your chest or your upper shoulders, just to prompt you to not use your body and really think about the movement coming from your shoulder. Really nice. And back. Good. And stop there. Okay, so we're just going to do a little minute of marching to give ourselves a cool down. And then what we might do is do that one exercise one more time. If you have more time today, what I would suggest doing is rewinding to the start of this circuit and doing it again, okay? If you have time, if you feel like you want a little bit more. But let's go. We're just going to be marching for a minute, giving our giving our arms a rest. Getting those legs moving. And just moving as much as you can within your abilities. Lovely, guys. Really well done. Fantastic. You're over halfway. Touching those legs. Awesome. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Okay, remember to get yourselves a drink whenever you need. We are going to come back to our functional task again, our forward reach, and we're just going to do this one more time before going into our cool down. Now, please remember, if you would like to do this circuit again, if you've got the time, then I would rewind now to the start of the circuit, repeat it, and then you could finish up with this one at the end. Okay? I'm going to go for 1 minute. Tea towel underneath your hand. You're either at your table or have your tray on your lap. If you're not quite ready, please pause me and get yourself ready before starting. Okay, off we go. We're reaching forward and back. Lovely. Remembering you're helping if you need, but trying to do as much as you can with that affected side. Really keeping that chest nice and up. Thinking about that hand going straight forward. So we're trying not to let it come across here. Forward. That's it. Really nice. Lovely work. This is a nice exercise to practice as well if you've got a dusty table. You could move yourself along the table each time. 2 birds, 1 stone. Lovely, everyone. We're nearly there. Let's do 1 more. And then relax. Fantastic. Okay, pop your tray and your tea towel aside. We're just going to come into a little cool down now with a few stretches. So I want you to do some nice big shoulder rolls backwards. Get everything loosened and moving. I want you to think how your arm feels as well. How do your arms feel? Do they feel like they're a bit more awake and activated? Do you feel a bit less stiff? Is it just feeling a bit tired? So think about how you feel. Hopefully your feeling should be positive. Lovely. Okay, so I want you to hold your hands together in front, hands reaching forward on your lap, round your shoulders, and then if you want to, you can look down. Feel the stretch across your upper back. Nice big breath. Good. 1 more really big breath here. Good. And then we're bringing hands back. So thinking hands back towards the back of your chair, elbows back together. Hey, if you can't, hands on the armrest, squeeze shoulders back together, tuck that chin in, feel that stretch across your chest. Lovely. Big breath into your chest. Good. Do 2 more here. Last one. Good. Okay, and then I just want you to think about, let's looking over your right shoulder, your neck. Okay, if you have your arms on your chair here as well, that can be really nice to give a bit more of a stretch across your chest. So arms on your chair, arm rest of your chair, I want you to look over towards the right. Feel the stretch down across that left side of your chest. Hold that there. Sit nice and tall. Back to the middle, and then we're going to look over to the left. So remember, arms resting on your armrest. Mine are imaginary because I don't have them. Hold that there, nice big breath. Good, one more. And give everything a nice shake and a wiggle. Lovely, well done guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. Now, please as always give us a thumbs up if you've done the class and you've enjoyed it. I really always welcome any feedback you have. So if you have any feedback, positive or negative, please either leave it below or send a message to the Different Strokes Charity Facebook page. Also, if there's anything particularly you'd like me to see, anything you would like to work on, this could be a task which I could tailor exercises to, then please let me know, and I will try my best to incorporate that into the classes. Remember that you have access to all of these classes, so all the previous ones we've done and today's on the Different Strokes Charity Facebook page and on Different Strokes UK YouTube page. So I challenge you to try and do another 2 classes this week, okay? So either you could do this class again and then maybe pick another class, or you could go back and do some of the other classes from previous weeks. So pick whichever ones you'd like to, but have a good go at trying to do more than the 1 class, because that is the way you'll get the most out of these classes. Okay guys, so you guys take care, have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you all next week. Thank you, bye.